This year marks the 40th anniversary of E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial, so I thought it'd be fun to celebrate by doing a review. This film definitely shows why Steven Spielberg is a master at his craft. First off, he made the very smart decision to shoot almost everything from the eye level of a child. With the exception of Elliot's mom and the scientists in the film later on, no adults' faces are shown in the film, keeping the focus mainly on the child characters. Now, the concept for the film originally started out as a horror movie called Nocturnal Fears, where a suburban family would be terrorized by aliens. But Spielberg later decided to take the story in a different direction and change it to a boy and his dog story, except the dog in the story is an alien. But you can tell that there are still some elements of what the film started out as. The first 30 minutes are kind of a thriller. Most of that section takes place at night and plays with fear of what could be outside in the dark. The first 5 minutes of this movie alone are super intense. We don't even get a really good look at E.T. until about 25 minutes into the film. Spielberg also chose a fantastic cast. The child actors work very well off of each other and really feel like siblings. And, much like Poltergeist, the film also plays up fears of adults in the last third. But I won't go too into detail if you haven't seen the film, because the last third of the movie is some of the most emotional stuff Spielberg's ever done, for both the kids, but especially the adults. If you don't cry at least once during the last third of this film, you probably have no soul. The practical effects are also fantastic. The E.T. puppet feels so lifelike, and you don't feel for 1 second that he's an illusion. He feels 100% real. Spielberg also made the unusual decision to film the movie in chronological order. Normally, scenes in the film are shot depending on the actor's availability on certain days, where they could use the locations and other factors. But Spielberg filmed this movie from beginning to end in order to make the actors' reactions to the last scene more genuine, and it paid off. This also has one of the most iconic John Williams scores. Not just the famous bike flying music, the da-da-da-da-da-da that everyone knows, but even from the first scene where E.T. and his family are being chased by the government. It's one of the most intense pieces of score Williams has ever composed, right up there with the Imperial March from Star Wars. The entire score for this film is absolutely iconic. There's a reason this film has lasted the test of time. There's a reason why 40 years later, kids are falling in love with it, adults are revisiting it, and I think it will continue to captivate families for generations. E.T. is definitely a movie worth phoning home about. I give E.T. an A+, 10 out of 10, and 5 out of 5 stars.